really want to say.
Did we go live yet?
Yeah, we live.
We are live.
Subscribe. Hello, guys.
Sorry, check something here really quick.
Huh?
Go ahead. Go
Now, what were you
ahead.
saying?
Go ahead, man. No, I was trying to check something on my phone. It's not related though. Go ahead.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the PlayStation Culture. This is the PlayStation Culture crew. Ken, the dishonorable, moi, and Josh, and then Jeremy. What's going on, guys? What's up with you?
Doing pretty good, man. Chilling, gaming. What about you?
Oh,
Dealing with Phil Jr.
Phil, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Jim Lion Ryan.
Oh Lord, what have you been doing outside of these subjects? What's been good with you?
Not much. God of War, yeah.
God of War and baking cookies, huh?
Yeah, I make cookies.
He make cookies, bitch. He's gonna steal something from your community, bitch. So, I'm just fucking with you because I can't cook. Anyway, we have some interesting topics to talk about in the PlayStation Culture podcast, in this episode, rather. So, get yourselves ready. Get your popcorn ready. Have a seat. Get your soda pop ready, too. We're going to start off, though, with
It's dangerous not to sit and watch the PlayStation Culture podcast.
it's dangerous to actually watch any other podcast but ours.
Yo, did you see he platinumed Returnal?
Yeah, that shit was better than me. I don't know how he fucking created generations of PlayStations and had the time to platinum shit. One of the hardest
He
games
probably
ever.
does it on plane rides because he's on a plane like every couple times a day because he
He
flies to
probably
studios
acted
all
shit,
over.
man.
Oh, Umar, what's going on, bro? You don't have any popcorn? What do you eat? Hate chocolates. I don't know what you eat. Something.
I
Anyway,
bet you Mark Sony hacked that shit, yo.
what? What?
Hacked Returnal.
I was surprised. That motherfucker has the receipts. He said, "Bitch, you got me fucked up." So in terms of me, I had like a little stout with a fucking car situation. I had a vacation day planned for. I was gonna go to the beach on, I believe Wednesday or Thursday, and I guess the whole fucking weather shifted so that those days are gonna be rainy. So I call myself being slick and moving my fucking day to Monday, which we still have some hours left, and I fucked myself so hard. Totally
Wait,
fucked
did
my.
you say lubing your dick and fucking yourself so hard? What
I
the hell?
did actually. I'm glad that you heard that. It was so long I was able to bend it backwards. It's pretty cool. Not a lot of people
Okay.
have that ability. No, I really did mess myself up because if you I have to talk to my manager. Anyway, I'm calling out tomorrow anyway because the weather patterns must have moved from Wednesday to Thursday to fucking Sunday and Monday. Right now in New Jersey, it is like 95 degrees and humid as hell. It's perfect beach weather. Um, but it screwed my whole shit up. So regardless, and then I have to talk to the mechanic too because my car that's fucking a year old just stopped working. Um, don't know what the fuck's going on with that. Other than that, trying to platinum Ghost of Tsushima. Been working on that. Doing it's those fucking collectibles. So I'll do like two collectibles every PlayStation until I clear them out, and that's what I've been doing so far. But besides that point, we are going to actually talk about well, the biggest fucking news that there is because of the cross generation talk. People are questioning if Sony really believes in generations. And the funny thing is, if you take that and break it down to its rudimentary statements, pieces, if Sony didn't believe in generations, then they wouldn't have believed in the PS4 generation. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's. I mean, I get the I get some of the you know some of the heat behind it. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of people feel like they were kind of like lied to, I guess. Or misled. I mean, I don't really think
Selfish
that they
bitch.
lied, but yeah,
Well,
but
Gran Turismo they did. You
No,
can't you
see,
can't take that one back. Yeah, hey, it,
wait. I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation. By the way, Jemiah, I know it's. I'm trying to work on it or whatever the case is. I don't like. I mean, I don't dislike collectibles. It's just it can be a pain in the ass. So that's why I really don't think about collecting collectibles. I don't feel like that's gameplay.
that's why I
Collecting
don't
thing.
platinum shit.
But it's what do you say, Jeremy?
That's why I don't platinum shit. I don't go around looking for that. I soak up all the gameplay and I don't go out of my way looking for
Yeah, that to me that's not game. That's
podunk shit.
to me
I don't do it.
to me that's not really gameplay. So it's whatever. But you bring up an interesting question point, Jeremy. And I said this on Twitter. Could you imagine having to adhere to everything you say 100% of the fucking time, all the time? You can never like shit don't change. I mean, shit changes, but you have to go through with it. Whether funerals or any fucking thing, you just have to do it because people have unrealistic expectations. Like for today, I mean, for yesterday, my fucking car got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on, Jemai? My car got fucked up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't see that coming. So, what the circumstances of the pandemic, I imagine they got to. These games are expensive. They have to pay for something. They have to pay for something. Shit. I mean, you know what I mean? It's 115 million people. I don't know. What do you guys think?
yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I kind of I understand like why some people are a little bit upset. You know what I mean? Because
Well, tell us why they're upset.
Sony was. I mean, they're all. I mean, people are always upset about something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I mean, I get it
you
though.
said that you get it, but
I get it. I do
well,
because
angle it at their, you know what I'm saying? Like at their, like how do you put me in their
because
shoes? I want to see. I'm just curious how you interpret what they think.
I mean, I think a lot of people feel like they were probably misled. In terms of like the expectation for whatever the PS5 generation. Do I think it's um, an unrealistic expectation? Yeah, absolutely. But I can understand where they're coming from.
But misled in
You know
what
what I'm
way
saying?
though? That's what I'm saying. You just said that
Like
you understand like
like
4 times.
this whole cross generation thing.
Uh huh.
You know, like Sony didn't explicitly say like every game was going to be PS5 exclusive, and I understand that. You know, but then again, there was always that open for interpretation kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where like for example, like God of War, you know, stuff like that. And situations like this with Gran Turismo and the whole PS5 exclusive thing. I mean, I get it. Things do change, like you mentioned, and maybe they did add another version mid development. I really don't know like 100% what the story is behind that, but um, I can understand like for the people who were like, yeah, hyped about this game going to be like a PS5 exclusive. Come to find out, yeah, it's not really so much the case. You know, um, so and that's, I mean, I get it. I do think that it is a bit of an unrealistic expectation, especially being
Well,
six
but
months
let me
into,
ask you.
into
Let
the
me ask you
generation.
this: like, how does it affect them though? Like, you know what I'm saying? So they got so they interpreted or got misled some kind of way. What is it? What does it mean for them? Why do you think they're so upset about it? I guess.
I think a lot of people are upset not only just from the fact that they feel like they were misled, but also I've been hearing a lot of people say, you know, like these games that are supposed to be coming out, like for example, God of War and even when we found out about Horizon being on PS4, that the games were going to be held back in some way, you know, that these games are not going to take full advantage of the quote unquote PS5 hardware and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I mean,
I can see where you're going with that, Umar. Maybe it is a PSVR 2. Jemiah, you in here? What you got to say about that?
I think that people are trying to make something out of nothing, and I think that most of this is just Sony fans trying to save face for Xbox fans. We know that if Horizon was in development since like 2018, 2019, the game was being developed on PS4, right? There's no way that the game was being developed for PS5 if there weren't even PS5s available or dev kits. So there is no way they've been making this game this whole time just on PS5. It makes no sense to anybody who has a goddamn fucking common sense. You know what I mean? This is what makes me mad about gamers. They're saying that things are going to be held back when they don't even know how development works. Battlefield 6 came out and said that the other versions of the PS4 and Xbox whatever One X versions are going to be totally different from the Battlefield 6 on next gen and PC. Like you can make a game at the same time and have different features and different things in the game. It doesn't have to have parity with the last gen systems. People are blowing this out of proportion, and no matter what the game does, they're gonna say it's held back because it's on PS4, not because it was held back, just because it's some preconceived notion of it being held back, and that's kind of annoying to me.
It is frustrating. I think some developers kind of sell the whole idea of cross gen. You look at you look at Halo.
how do you say something without saying something?
I know, right? you look at Halo, right? And I had to remind myself. And yes, this is a PlayStation, channel, centric channel, but still, I really dug deep into like why people feel some kind of way about cross gen. And if I had a game that looked like Halo Infinite, I'll be pretty pissed too, because that was the notion. But you had people trying to, stick up for what the mediocrity that you've seen. It was popping galore, NPCs and animals and other little characters didn't have shadows. And we're not even talking about Craig, just in general. The rock faces weren't really rock faces. It was just. What'd you say?
We could talk for a long time with the trap that they fucked up in that demonstration.
But that's the thing. They decided to put that out there for everybody to see. The rock faces were octagonal, and I mean, like, there's so much wrong with it. So when Microsoft came out of the woodworks and was like, "Yo, we're going to support the Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S and X," that people were like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then they were like, "I don't know what that means necessarily," because Microsoft also stated that engines are scalable. With the S, you can go to the Series X or S and make that shit into, something that looks decent. And then we got Halo, so everyone's like, "Nah, nigga, I'm good on that one." But the whole statement, what I want to break down, I actually want to go to Jeremy. Specifically with this, we believe in generations. Could you break that down for me, Jeremy, as to what the fuck is that phrase? What does that mean to you?
I don't know per se on that. I was just upset about. I don't even plan on buying Gran Turismo, but that was presented as a PS5 only.
No. I'm talking
And
about the phrase. I'm talking about the phrase itself. We believe in generations. That's what I'm focusing on.
I don't really know, to be honest.
What does it mean to you?
Real quick though, you said you don't like being lied to about Gran Turismo only being on PS5. The game being on PS4, how does that hinder the game on PS5?
He doesn't like to be lied to in general. Like if a company says something.
I don't think that's the thing.
The other games, what Jemiah said, I'm already on record for saying exactly what he said before about God of War. I already said it last week. I said that was probably going to be cross-gen because of how long it's been in development. But it wasn't advertised as such either. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't advertised as PS5 only either.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not upset.
I'm sorry.
I actually predicted that.
Gran Turismo was.
I mean, They said that Miles Morales could only be done on PS5, and then they turned around and put it on PS4.
Well, in its
I don't
current state,
remember
it
that, I
can
guess.
only be on PS5. They had to scale the engine downwards. In its current state, that was. I mean, I know this is a technicality, but the thing is, let me ask you, Jemiah, when you hear just the phrase "we believe in generations," how do you interpret that? That's where the point of contention is for everybody. Is people
I
are not
think
understanding what that means.
when I hear we believe in generations, I that makes me think that at some point they're gonna cut off the last generation. They're not gonna make games for that generation. You know what I mean? So when they make games that are PS5 focused, like Ratchet and Clank,
Returnal.
Returnal, Demon Souls, etc., those games won't have PS4 versions. But the games that were so far in development from PS4 to PS5, of course they would have a PS5 or PS4 version because they started making the game on the PS4. For people to get mad about that, I find it crazy. Like I guarantee you, in the next year, like when the games start coming out, there won't be any PS4 versions of those games because they were developed using those PS5 dev kits about 2 years ago. So in about 2 to 3 years, 2023 ish, 2022 ish, you're gonna see games that are PS5 only because they started new development processes. But the old games that were being developed for the PS4 in 2017, 18, 19, they're gonna have PS4 versions. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Kim, what about you and that phrase and its meaning? How do you interpret this?
I mean, I feel like when I hear "we believe in generations," it's kind of like you're going from like what you have now into a generational leap into something else. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't specifically interpret it as, every single game that's coming out on the PlayStation 5 needs to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive kind of thing. It's just more like, you see a noticeable change and jump in whatever the quality of the game, the design of the game, or whatever the case, right? Um, from the previous generation going on to into the next generation. So, I mean, that's what I think, man. And I feel like, they've kind of
Fader, what's going on,
at
bro?
least, at least in terms of like showing what's at least what's possible. You know what I'm saying? Running games on the PS5, even with the cross generation games, like, we see like a noticeable difference between, the PS4 version of these games and the PS5 version. So, um, well, we haven't seen all of them, but like something like Miles Morales, there's obviously a noticeable difference.
Devil Shooter was good.
But yeah, I mean that's my take on it, man. Just
Well,
a
Ken,
generation.
I have a question for you, Ken. Though,
What's up?
for when we know the PS5 and the Xbox Series X they're like basically a 2080, maybe even even say a 2080 Ti, right? They're about that power
Okay.
range, right? Why do people expect to see something so incredibly spectacular when we have GPUs and things on the market that are 5 times more powerful than the PS5 and Xbox Series X? Like, what do you guys expect that's so next gen the game can't be cross gen? You know what I mean? Like, not you personally, but like in general, I don't know what people expect from these consoles when they're not really powerhouses when it comes to hardware to
Jemiah,
begin with.
Jemiah, they don't
Like,
know. They don't know what to expect. They don't even know
this
what the
is
fuck
all
they're
gonna
talking
be,
about.
yeah, it's gonna come down to the software and the developers squeezing every inch out of these consoles, and I don't think the PS4 is gonna hold it back.
When I
I feel like this
saw
conversation has been kind of like blown out of proportion, man. Because
every time something
I mean,
happens, every time something happens, it's
it's
always blown out of proportion. Every fucking time when a game goes to cross gen or whatever the case is, they always state this shit. Things fucking change. Not everything's gonna be fucking stable. You know what I'm saying? Like if like Sony had to remove backwards compatibility from the PlayStation 3 to survive. Imagine everybody. You know what? I'm so mad. I want to play my PS2. It sucked ass. Don't get it fucked up. But I don't want. Why are they taking it out? Well, the fucking company's gonna be. It's gone if they left it in there. As much money as they were losing. I mean, the whole that kind of ridiculous standard. I mean, how many broken promises from Nintendo and PlayStation or Xbox or any fucking body, Sega, anyone. Things fucking change. Hey, I don't know what the fuck. This generation is wild. This generation of people is wild. Every time I fucking hear that shit. By the way, Umar, in terms of you said that you do scalability, it can only go but so far. The thing about that argument is that people don't know what they're looking for. They're just complaining. That's the problem. I can see if you had some kind of
I find
notion,
that interesting
you
too, man.
know what they were going to be missing. I had this conversation yesterday. Engines, what we've been getting so far is a lot better graphics, more shit on the screen. But in terms of the gameplay fundamentals, it's the same shit, really, or relatively the same. It hasn't really progressed that far for the last 2 generations. You know, what was so mind-blowing about a lot of different fucking... Okay, so everybody liked Red Dead Redemption. Everyone liked Red Dead Redemption, right? Red Dead Redemption. And then Red Dead Redemption 2. And they kept saying, oh my God, it was so good. Well, what was so much better in Red Dead 2 than 1? What was it? Or even fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4. What was 5? What was so better? Other than, like, they made the physics easier. Or story. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the frustrating thing.
It's funny, like, it's funny because when you ask people, like, you know, what specifically makes like a next generation game, you know, a lot of people always say, oh, you know, the graphics look better, or
Yo, Ken,
you know, the world is bigger.
Look at what Umar says. Right after Jemiah's foolishness.
I was trying to open up the chat here, but
he says people want rift apart like experiences.
We want to get to you, Devin Shooter, too. I see you're in here. Make sure you got your mic ready. Yeah, he says people want rift apart experiences. What exactly is that, Umar?
They want the backgrounds to change
Quicker.
too fast. Like when you're playing Ratchet and Clank, right? I'm not trying to take away from the game, but it's not like when the world changes, you're gonna be able to go to the back of the fucking goddamn map and do shit over there. You know what I mean? You're on a rail, like
It's
you're
control.
on a rail,
It's control
and
points.
they're changing the environment.
It's
yeah,
control
like,
points. You can't do that anytime you want. It looks nice. But we're
Like-
going, Ken. I'm sorry. My bad.
yeah. Sorry.
no, you're good, man. I was looking at the chat. I just got it open so I could see what's going on. I don't even remember what I was saying, man. You guys can go ahead.
No. Can you address them though?
We keep cutting Ken off.
What about what Umar said?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people want Rift-like experiences. I mean, my question is, what the hell is a Rift apart experience? You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Is it gonna be like that? I don't think so.
Say again, Jeremy.
I don't think a game like that. Not every game's gonna be like that and implement that either.
What is it? What is it doing? That's groundbreaking.
Using the SSD to the
Hmm?
capabilities. I think that's what he's getting at.
You know, SSDs have been around since 1995.
No, we get it, but like the way that they
No,
have.
I'm saying like they keep bringing up this SSD thing. Like, okay, it loads fast. Okay, if you have a game like The Last of Us, right? What do you need to load in fast? The game is a slow-paced game. Like, you're not really like flying around in cars or jets or anything. You're just walking through, you know, different environments, shooting people. Like, what does a SSD improve in that type of game? Like, what does it do?
He says next gen game design to be. What is that? What is that? What is it?
See, that's what I'm talking
This is
about.
the
It's
rabbit
like
hole that
when-
we're gonna go into. Rabbit hole.
Yeah, because when you say next gen game design, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Devil shooter.
I feel like a lot of this whole thing about like surrounding like what next gen is, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of it is speculatory. You know, because you know when Insomniac showed the gameplay for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, they were kind of like showing, okay, this is what the PS5 is capable of doing, right? And then whenever we bring up this conversation of what next gen design is, we always kind of go to like, oh, you know, you teleport between worlds and stuff like what they did in that gameplay trailer, right? But it's like, what is it? You know,
Newsflash.
like we're
Newsflash,
kind of like
everybody.
operating in this.
You're not gonna be teleported anywhere you want, anytime you want. That's a newsflash. Those points of
The
loading.
thing is, man,
It's picked by the developer. Go on, please. I'm sorry.
I mean, the thing is that we're like in this kind of like realm of like, what are the developers going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't even gotten to that point yet, you know, to really see like what the developers can really do with the hardware, you know. Um, I feel like what we were talking about yesterday, in terms of like a next gen design of something, is the DualSense controller. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tangible, piece of evidence of what I feel like, we can kind of like see as a next generation feature in terms of like how you interact with the game. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but this whole thing about like next gen game design, I don't really know what that is. Like what
Well,
is that?
like Josh said though, it started with Mark Cerny saying that back in the day they would design certain levels to kind of hide some of the loading. But we clearly know that in these PS5 games, there will be no loading regardless of the fact. So they don't need to design any levels like God of War where you run around that circle for like 5 minutes, whatever. You know what I mean? While I was loading up. There won't be that shit in God of War 2 on PS5. You know what I mean? So if you're talking about using the SSD, they are using the SSD. They're just not making it as flashy as Ratchet and Clank. Like, I don't understand people's, like, their hang up on this whole cross-gen
They
thing.
don't.
Like,
They
they can
don't
do
even
things
fucking
in the
know.
PS5 that the PS4 version cannot do, and they are doing it. Like the underwater, right? They said that is a whole special engine for the PS5. The whole underwater is different. That's something they're doing on the PS5 that the PS4 can't do. They're already showing you things that the PS4 can't do and the PS5 can. If anybody played Horizon recently, you can see how basic that game is. Like this 14 minutes has just shown you how bad Horizon Zero Dawn
It really
actually
did. It
was. You know
really
what I
did
mean?
shit on
Like it
Horizon
is
at a
crazy.
high level. Like, and by the way, Jemiah, the waves as well, not just underwater, but the actual ripples and shit like that. That's not going to be present on PS4 at all. Devil Shooter, are you there? I wanted to spend the last moments of this
Yeah,
subject. Well, you got to take.
I'm here.
The floor
What
is
up?
yours, man.
Far as mine, what do you want me to talk about? Like next gen or Jim Ryan Lion? What?
Jim Ryan
I'm
Lion,
sorry.
next gen. Your thoughts about believing in generations,
Uh,
everything. When you were sitting in here,
okay,
all of it.
here's the thing about believing in generation. Jim Ryan, he said that to you. Remember at the time when Microsoft was like getting blasted for not believing in generations that their games are going to be, on all platforms. He said that in a way to combat that, to get the spotlight on them. And now, and it comes out that the games are not going to be next gen. Well, most of them. There are next gen games.
Let's take this into the full context though, right? Because
Yeah,
when
why
Phil
not?
Spencer when Phil Spencer came out and said that we don't believe in generations, he was talking about well into the Xbox Series X's lifetime. They came
Yeah,
back out and then restated that okay, we're gonna just do 2 years only after they got heat, right? So
yeah.
even they reversed what they were saying based on public reactions. Jim Ryan said we believe in generations. He didn't say that it was gonna start immediately November, whatever the fuck the PS5 came out. He just said that at one point in time we're
Mine.
gonna break off the PS4 and go on with the PS5. We believe in generations. Phil Spencer said that we don't believe in generations, and then came out and restated that okay, we're gonna do 2 years only, and then we're gonna switch to just only Xbox Series X. So his statement is actually factual. What he says is actually
Yeah.
true. People just
Yeah,
don't
no,
understand English.
listen. I believe that he believes in generations. I believe, even though I don't have one yet. From what I've seen of the PS5, it looks very much like a next gen machine. But here's the thing: like the game shown, because he said that the game shown, people assume, myself included. I was surprised to hear that they were going to be on PS4, that they were going to be
But
PS5
aren't you
only.
glad though? Because you don't have a PS5 yet. Aren't I mean, wouldn't that be good news for you? For you to be
Oh,
picking up God of War and in
yeah.
Horizon, isn't that not good
I,
news for your
I,
ass?
I was actually waiting. I was actually going to wait until I get the PS5 so
Yeah,
we
but
can
when
play
you
those
get the
games.
Oh,
PS5, the PS5 version is gonna be sitting there chilling. Be like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good,
it'll probably be
if
a
you
little
want
bit
if you
cheaper.
want a PS5, you can go get one on Amazon right now for like 1,500.
and that's the same price.
No,
That's the wait, hold on,
I'm not
wait.
doing that.
It's the same
I'm not
price
doing that.
as it would have taken to build a computer. Interesting, isn't it?
But my thing is though, he
I
doesn't
guess
really want a
so.
PS5 though.
But you ain't about that life. Let me ask you something.
I pay extra money for a PS5. Like I didn't have no problem
Now,
with
for
that.
me
Like
personally,
Uh,
that
oh
wouldn't
wait,
be my black ass. But I'm gonna say this, right?
I'm not cheap though. I don't know. I'm a PC nigga.
I'm very cheap. So here's the thing, right?
I'm just saying.
I'm very cheap. I ain't gonna be listening. Let me ask you a question. What next generation only game did Microsoft Microsoft make by themselves? Which one? What game that was exclusively to the Series X so far in almost 7 months have they released?
Well, Xbox has no exclusives.
No. I don't. None of that rhetoric online. I'm asking you personally. Did they release something exclusive to the Series consoles?
No.
No. Did Sony release things exclusively to PS5?
Yeah.
Okay, then the conversation is over, basically. So they do believe in generations.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I agree. I told you that they.
No, I know, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying it for you. I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying it for people that are watching, that will watch this, and is questioning just the whole statement. It was never promised that it was exclusive. They would never make a fucking another PlayStation 4 game ever again. I don't know where they did that from.
I think the issue is people assume they were exclusive, and Sony did hide the fact that they were coming to PS4.
When
they
came out and said Horizon was coming to PS4 a long time ago.
We didn't get information about it until the day of pre-orders.
Okay, so
Horizon?
No. Sony came out and released a statement in a blog saying that Miles Morales, I think Sackboy, and Horizon were going to be. That was last year.
That was literally last year.
That was literally last year.
I know that. Shama, that was on the day of pre-orders, though.
I got something for that. Wait, hold on. Wait. I got something for that.
It was on the day of pre-orders.
You can't pre-order Horizon right now, so how can it be on pre-order?
No. Okay, they didn't do that for Horizon, but they did that for Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I think a few other games.
No, I got. Wait, hold on. I got something for that ass.
Okay, what up?
Oh, that was homo. I'm sorry, guys. That's not what I meant. But hold on for a minute.
But they only announced 3 games, though.
That's exactly what you.
I'm talking about the games shown at June and July events. Those 2 events. No one knew
those come out till November either.
And I'm talking about
right, because they came out and made a statement soon after that event, and then the games came out like 3 months later, and then that's when we found out, like 3 months before Miles came out, it was gonna be cross-gen, and people were talking about shit. I got into a huge argument with Ponies about that shit, and then when the game came out with ray tracing and all this shit, Ponies act like they never even heard of the PS4 version. So what I'm saying is, people keep getting outraged that every time the games get shown, people somehow get amnesia. And forget the games are on PS4.
Anime style amnesia. I want to read before we go to the next subject with Ken. This is what Sony said. As we said many times with the PlayStation 5 and its brand generation, we believe in generations. So we want to evolve every part of that experience, right? So going forward with that comment, when you look at a game like Ratchet, we've talked about a lot of different features today, but as you mentioned, we haven't mentioned the SSD. That's another thing that will make the whole gaming experience different. It will make it better, but it also allows the developers to do new things. It isn't just about faster loading time. Let me go to the one part actually, because there's a lot here. It's more than what I found. I believe he starts to go on to what would quantify as a next generation game. Stuff like the controller, stuff like the 3D sound. And correct me if I'm wrong, is there not haptic feedback and adaptive triggers and 3D audio? Is that not being used, or am I tripping?
That's not next gen, nigga.
That's next gen.
That's not next gen. It's about mechanics that I never heard about that they're not doing.
That I don't know what it is exactly.
Nobody knows what the next gen fucking shit is, bro. Like, they keep saying like this is not next gen, or I want Ratchet and Clank things when they're just loading up things fast. Which so does Horizon. Look at Horizon. She literally is talking to the dude in the cutscene, and then she walks away into the game.
Like seamlessly.
That's amazing, right? Yeah, like that's the SSD at work.
And here we go. We do believe in generations, whether it's the DualSense controller, whether it's the 3D audio, whether it's the multiple ways the SSD can be used. We are thinking that it is time to give PlayStation community something new, something different, that it can really only be enjoyed on a PS5. I mean, that's what he said. That's the end of this. This what it is.
You know, when he was talking about that whole we believe in generations, you know, he talked about specifically features. You know, he actually didn't even mention that the games were going to be like exclusive to the PS5. He said we're going to give you features that you've never been able or you've never experienced before on previous consoles. You know, for example, the DualSense and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, I feel like some people were kind of just they took what they heard and ran with it with their own kind of like, you know, narrative, I guess. And this shit just blew out of proportion from there.
To the defense of the ponies, IGN ran an article and just basically paraphrased it and said that.
So it's people's fault because they can't read, or they were misled. Like
they were misled by IGN, not by Sony. But
it's
Sony,
like the whole thing with Mark Cerny explaining the whole PS5 breakdown. People watched that shit and they had no clue what the hell he said. And then when they made their own shit after that, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my fault people don't comprehend English. Like, I don't care. I'm done with that shit, bro. Like, learn how to fucking read and stop saying dumb shit on Twitter. That's it.
Period. Ken, yo, it's all yours, man.
Oh man. No, you guys are done going back and forth.
No, it's really just it's us, the whole panel versus fucking social media and outlets.
No.
Y'all saw that thing, man. Young talk about something. I can't stand that nigga, yo. All right, go on.
I skipped right over that shit, yo.
Why do you guys watch that shit? Though?
I didn't. I was casually looking for reactions to Forbidden West, and his eyes popped up.
Casually.
Yeah. So he said something like Sony believes in generations. It was like didn't age well or something like that. I was just like, I can't deal with this, yo.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. But anyway. All right, so it sounds like we're pretty much done with that topic. So, let's go ahead and get into the next topic here. So, the next topic that we have is Horizon might be better than we think. I know that Josh, I know you're ready to talk about this one. But anyway, there was a lot of information that came out recently. Obviously, besides the trailer. Just little bits of like information about what the game is actually going to be doing and some of the changes that they're doing from the Horizon Zero Dawn into the new one. So we wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. But like for example, some of the things that they're going to be doing in the PS5 version or Horizon Forbidden West is the fact that they're revamping like the combat system. You know what I'm saying? So that was a big thing. It looked like they were trying to focus on. Did you guys have anything you wanted to talk about, like anything that you noticed that you kind of like wanted to talk about in terms of like some of the things that they're doing with the new Horizon Forbidden West?
Do you know what the article was? Was that a blog post from PlayStation or?
Jemiah, the one video that I had.
Well, I know I watched that video.
No, not the video, but like in the description, I have the actual link.
All right, let me go there real quick.
I'm about to post it again, on the Discord.
And then if you can, you could do it on the Discord thing too. But yeah, that's
it's in the PlayStation Discord. I just posted it in there. But
do I have? So
but yeah, if you
anything in particular, I mean, for me, one of the things that Matthias, I guess his name is, said, and really the game had collision for the rock faces and stuff like that, is the climbing in there. You can climb on any surfaces, Assassin's Creed style. There's no stamina either, from my understanding. Well, what's interesting to me, because there were some times where I'm like, man, there's a fucking Stormbird right over there flying. I don't feel like wasting health, potions, and ammo. Let me just climb this fucking mountain so I can just avoid him altogether. And now you can. You can climb that whole fucking mountain. And the good thing about it is you don't have to, like, carefully, scramble down the fucking mountain. You can use that fucking glider and just glide all the way down once you get up there. So it's kind of like a reward to be up there and just glide down safely. I think to me the climbing aspect is in the swimming. I don't even want to get into swimming. I was one of those freaky ass kids that liked the Sonic level, the underwater Sonic levels, Sonic the Hedgehog levels. I fucking love those. That's for
I
me.
kind of wanted to go over some of the stuff that they mentioned in the article, man, because it's some pretty interesting stuff, man. It's like it looks like they really went above and beyond to try and like change the flow of the gameplay. Um, like for example, like what Josh just mentioned, one thing that they mentioned in the article was the fact that in this game specifically, like you have the ability to like free climb anywhere, everywhere in the world, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So that adds like another level of like dynamicism to the gameplay that you just didn't have in the other game. And you could basically go anywhere. Like they mentioned in the article that like if you wanted to go somewhere on the map, like you can literally go there. You know what I'm saying? And they give you the the tools to do that. Like the free climbing and all that type of stuff. So um, and another thing that they mentioned in the article as well, like I said before, is the fact that they like revamped the whole combat system, yo. Like they took whatever they had in Horizon Zero Dawn and threw that shit out the window. And basically,
Bro, in Horizon Zero Dawn, you got two swings. You swing hard and you swing soft. That's it. There's no combos, there's no chains, there's nothing. You just swing that shit. That shit is ridiculous, bro. Machines be like body slamming you and shit. You get one hit off and they already up body slamming you again. The melee in part one is horrendous.
Well,
yeah, and I think they knew that,
when,
man.
when you put it on the
Go
easy
ahead.
mode, then the melee makes sense. Like in terms of it makes, but when you on fucking ultra hard, it is worthless. Absolutely worthless.
Yeah, the machines will body you, bro. Like it's not even a fucking question. I guess you also have the critical hit if they're down. I guess that's another attack. I guess.
Yeah, but you gotta the melee gotta work to knock them down. They have so much health that you can't knock an enemy down. I don't even think you can watch. You can knock down a watcher. I think it's so strong that way you can't even do that.
Don't you have to do the hard melee attack to knock the machines down in
On,
Horizon
on
Zero Dawn?
ultra hard, absolutely not.
You get perks and shit, but like I don't know if, like you said, the ultra hard. I doubt you can knock them down because them things are like they'll one shot you. So it's not like melee is like not melee is not like what you call it useful when the game gets harder.
That was pretty cool. Like what they were talking about in this article, man. One thing that they did add is just combos. You know what I'm saying? So they're actually going to give you like different like choices when it comes to like how you want to build your combos or whatever. They're going to give you like a whole skill tree for that. And then they even have like what they mentioned here is something called like a technical skill. So they actually reward you for playing technically. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just kind of like hacking and slashing or whatever. Like they give you points for like aiming for aiming for the enemy's heads and ripping off their armor and that type of shit. And why that's important is because when we see the gameplay demo, right? She did that what they call the Valor Surge, right? You can only do that if you fill up your bar doing technical moves like abilities. So it has its own like point system aside from the actual combo. I mean, what I'm saying, like the regular combat that they have in the game. So it kind of adds like another layer of like gameplay when it comes to the combat itself. You know what I'm saying? Plus,
And I was reading the thing that the weapons have their own techniques and shit. Like the what do you call it? The when she shot that dude, I forgot what it's called. Like the Renaissance blast or something like that. Like so, like each weapon has different special moves and shit too. So like, I think this game is gonna be like just amazing. You know what I mean? And like, this whole hellback shit is just like killing me. Like the exploration is gonna be 100% better. The animations are 100% better. Like it's gonna have better crafting. Everything's gonna be better. But yet people are complaining because it's on PS4.
Really don't have a reason.
yeah, man, they did a lot to kind of like revamp it, man.
Well, your guys don't
Yo,
be shy to jump in.
yeah, I was getting ready to say like, yo, Nelson, you got anything you want to say on this, man?
Protect niggas.
No, with Horizon, like most of the little nitpickings I had on the game, I seen in the trailer was taken care of. So I was like, damn, that little trailer really nerfed like 80% of the little complaints that I had on the game. So
My biggest complaints of the game are the RPG part of the game. Like Like she needs to have better dialogue choices that actually make sense. Like I'm going through the game again now, and like you pick like the heart or the brain or like the whatever like the bronze thing, and I don't think those things actually affect the game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why he had those choices and they weren't actually doing anything. Maybe it was making Aloy personality different, but I don't think it does. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
Like
the
I'm
reason
confused
why
about that.
it's supposed to
Make
shine
her
light on
tougher, right?
it's,
If she's mad, she's like she acts like more like abrupt with people. I don't know.
yeah, it's supposed to shine light on her personality in general. Like it's not supposed to be like decision making. It's supposed to be about like what type of person she is.
That's what
Um,
it says, but I don't think she like.
it's the
Maybe
same.
I
It's
have
the
to
same.
like.
It's the same outcome, except when Olin, I think she can straight up kill that nigga if you
Okay,
decide to
Jim.
do that. But mostly it's about how you're. I think the developer was like how you're feeling about the situation. You know what I'm saying? And you basically are Aloy, and you can only function the way that Aloy's personality works. So like there's three different versions of Aloy. Basically, you have the typical caring nature of Aloy. That's the kind of that's part of her
Smart.
personality. You have
Yeah,
the analytical portion of her
that's the
personality,
brain symbol.
and then she is definitely quick to get angry. That's part of her personality as well. She gets
That's the first
short or
one.
irritated with people, and she's sarcastic.
Yeah. Well, I like the whole the one scene like the rock scene, right? You guys played the first part of the game, right? When she
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
hit with the rock, you can choose like to like not hit him back and drop the rock, and then later on when you meet him before the proving, she's like you're pathetic or whatever, whatever. I don't remember that if you hit him with the rock, what she says. I mean, maybe it changes those cutscenes slightly,
It does.
but like
It does. And
it doesn't have a huge impact for you to notice that.
no,
That's what I'm
it's
saying
this,
though.
there's a lot of different side dialogues that happens. Like there's sometimes like okay, so when you do your first like if you stumble upon a bandit camp and do not talk to Neil, there's a totally different dialogue branch for that too. Like they do that, but it's so subtle. It has nothing. It doesn't change the story at all. And
Like
this
I was telling Josh that I want Alo to be able to be like Paragon Renegade, like Mass Effect. I've been playing a lot of
nigga,
Mass
you can
Effect
pay.
too. You know what I
You
mean?
can play Mass Effect.
Like imagine if Aloy in the first game
Like,
she
we're
would
gonna
have
get
took
some shit like that, yo.
if she would have took
Oh.
Hades for herself instead of Silence getting Hades. You know what I mean?
They're not
Imagine
going to
if
do that.
Aloy was doing some evil shit like that. Like
See the thing.
that would be
See
badass, bro.
it would, but the problem is that the way that it's not a flaw. They don't want that. She's only going to act a certain way. She's only going to act a certain way, and that's how.
I mean, I get that, but like
I mean,
just said
it'd be nice to have a game, where you know what I'm saying, where you can make those decisions, but they want it to be like a role playing game, which you have to play a role in Aloy's shit. But yeah, like in that scene, and then I'll shut up. In the scene where you throw a rock, right? You could decide to throw it at his head, which Ross would destroy that, and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, Aloy? You can't do that."
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You could either hit it on his hand, which Ross will leave that happen, or you could just drop it, or whatever the case is. And each one that you do, that conversation when she's older would happen. Like there was one time he was like, "I remember I branded you with that as well," and then she'll be like, "Yo, I remember when I accurately fucked your hand up or whatever." You know what I'm saying? Or if it wasn't for Ross, I would have fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
I didn't feel like it was worth it to hit you. That's what she would say. Something of that nature. But that's about the extent. It's really just fleshing out Aloy's personality.
When we were talking, man, there were a lot of like little details that you kind of picked out from the article.
Let me go over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the stuff that you pointed out were, what was it with the actual the modifications? There was like a little section on that. It looks like they're trying to revamp that too, man. Which personally, man, I mean, I'm an RPG fan, so I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with the actual RPG side of the game. I mean, obviously, I love the combat, the action adventure part of it, but I really want to see like what they're gonna do with the like how you mod your character, and how you kind of like build Aloy in the game or whatever. But I don't know, man. It seems like what they're doing, man, is like they're really trying to like revamp the whole experience. You know what I'm saying? And it even showed like in the trailer when she was fighting the Tremor Tusk or whatever it's called. Like you could chain all of that stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Like you could use your grappling hook to jump over, then use your glider to jump down, and then and then when you're fighting the yeah, like when you're
I'm looking
fighting
at
the enemies.
Black. That was some. She needs some yams upgrade.
Aloy need a yams upgrade. But yeah, man, it just looked like they were adding a lot of like depth to it as well. So I don't know. I think what they're trying to do is like a lot better than what people are actually even peeping on. To be honest with you, man, it's gonna be a lot more in depth.
I have
Yeah.
the information available. So, and originally, and I'm going to be very quick. I've been saying this a lot, and I made a video about this, so already have a lot of it kind of consolidated. So, the crafting system. Normally, what you would do is that you would you can craft the things on the fly or whatever the case is. You can still do that and do some rudimentary crafting like arrows and shit like that. But in terms of upgrading your weapon, you have to go to a workbench, which is only located in settlements within the game. You can do your outfits, you can upgrade your outfits, and you can upgrade the type of ammo and things like that you can use for those particular weapons. The crafting and upgrading in the original Horizon, all machines were kind of treated equal. So if you kill a machine, the only thing that you can get is just like the eyes or the heart, and you could trade that in for the actual outfit. But you're gonna need it in the new game to actually make it. Not only that, but like in terms of the mods that makes your weapon stronger, I think they don't even have that anymore. But there's no mods that makes your weapon stronger. Like there's no damage mod, and you just slap that on. You're gonna have to find pieces and then go to a workbench to build a better weapon. And then the melees, I could just read this shit off right here. They have different combinations, which is on a skill tree. So there's a melee skill tree by itself. The one that you see in the demo, its purpose, the last hit of that whole combo knocks a piece of armor off. There's a resonator combo where you keep hitting the enemy with your staff, and each time a ring at the end of your staff, there's another ring that's added onto it. So when it gets to like the fourth ring, your hit will stick onto the enemy, and then you could actually use your arrow and shoot that ball of energy and then blow them the fuck up that way.
I think that gives you technical points too, right?
That's for the
Because I
Valor.
mentioned
So
that
that's
you
for the Valor Surges. The Valor Surges where she injects that thing into her staff, and then she hits the ground or whatever the case is. You have to build up that meter, and there's like many different types for different situations. In order to get that meter, you're going to have to specifically shoot an enemy in their head or remove certain pieces. That's the only way you can get that meter up. So tactically, that's how that's going to work.
Was that everything?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to go. Like I don't want to be flapping my lips.
Yo, Devil Shooter, did you have anything you wanted to say about it, man?
No, I really haven't been following it, to be honest. So, the little bit I heard, it sounds like Infamous gameplay. Like, you do enough of a combo, and you push a certain button, and she does, like, a special attack. That's really all I heard about it.
Well, you
Is that
have
right, or-
well, no. So,
No?
no,
Okay.
you have. It's more, and I'm being completely honest. The way that I'm interpreting and reading it, it's more like God of War. So, like,
Oh, that's good.
you know how you
that's
have
really
like
good.
you can take off like the different rooms, and one room would like have you slam the ground and create like an ice thing, and then another room is you just use your axe and spray the ice.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Okay. So there's special attacks. Okay.
That's what the Valor Surge was when
That's it.
she did that whole cinematic fucking EX move or
Uh,
whatever the fuck it is.
I'll be honest. I hope it doesn't like do that camera zoom in thing every time you do a special attack. I hate that in games.
I mean,
Like, that's
typically,
annoying.
so I mean, it's really no different than God of War. It's just that the camera doesn't go in his face. It just stays behind.
Yeah, I just don't like when the camera focuses on the character.
Bro,
to
you
do a
real
special
picky,
attack.
bro.
I am picky. That's one of my pet. That's one of my pet peeves in gaming. When a game does that, It makes me not even
Yo,
want to play it.
When
he
they
has
do
such
some
an
really cool shit
obscure
and they
like.
focus on that, I don't like that.
He is like such an
Oh, I
obscure
don't
thing.
listen. I don't mind it. I don't mind it if it's like every once in a while. But if it's gonna do it each and every time, yes, I get annoyed.
Ghost of Tsushima had that
Oh,
I gotta
typically.
lie.
He's like, you know what I don't like? I don't like when, a strand of hair clips through her shoulder. Like it makes me not want to play the game at all. Like I can't.
Did you, Devil Shooter? Did you beat part 1?
Did I beat it? To be honest, no.
Okay,
I got about halfway through and I
yeah.
stopped playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you.
You got a lot of fucking Devil
Yeah.
Shooter. You got a lot of criticisms on PlayStation, but I don't know if you're a fan or not. I don't know.
You don't like The Last of Us, so
I mean,
Right.
I like The Last of Us a lot. I really like that game.
I don't
The Last
believe
of
you.
Us 2.
He didn't
It's
like The Last of Us Part 2.
2.
Oh, you said in the live stream you don't like the first game either.
I never said that ever. I need you.
You don't like anything that Naughty Dog does anymore.
I never said that.
He got mad.
I don't know, man. You've said it multiple times. Like you really don't like Naughty
Yeah,
Dog.
he hates Uncharted 4, but he got 500 hours on them.
He was a Naughty Dog fan until Last of Us 2 came out. Let's put it like
Yep, he
that.
was.
Well,
You
yeah,
can see by his hours. I hate
that-
Uncharted 4. Well, like you beat that bitch
No,
at
no,
least
no, no,
40
no, no,
times.
no.
That's
No,
why
I
you played
didn't.
the
No,
shit.
no, no. Let me correct you on that. I
That's
played the
the Uncharted.
I played the multiplayer. The multiplayer is what
Oh.
I played.
Nah, you played the story there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did 12 times.
Nope, I couldn't stand that. story.
The multiplayer was really good.
You were liking that Nate and Elena relationship, yo. You
Yo,
were into
they
that shit, weren't you?
totally on the multiplayer subtract Chloe's
nice
ass.
heterosexual couple.
They really deflated
You
Chloe's
didn't
ass.
say
That pissed me
Yo,
off.
nice and normal.
That pissed me off.
Nice. I just hope. I wonder if Aloy's gonna be able to get like a like one of those like those hand like submarine things that make you go faster. That'd be tight.
They had that in Tomb Raider.
Oh,
too.
underwater.
They had
Like
that
I
in-
wonder how far they're gonna push that. Like imagine being some big ass huge like Leviathan like shark or whale or some shit like at the bottom of the ocean. Like you know what I mean? Like how far are they really gonna push this underwater system?
Magnificent.
what they might
Shut
do
your
is-
mouth. Shut your cornhole.
I mean, they might make it to where you can possess like underwater, machines and use
Well,
that.
they,
like,
they
to
said that
reverse
already that you can ride underwater machines, but
Oh,
I
did they
think
really? I missed that
those,
shit then.
those ones you see in the beginning that are like paddling on the surface, those
Oh,
are
so
like those are like non-predatory. They're like transport, like basically machines, like the other.
I
Like
heard
the,
that they were.
like the
He said it
Striders.
was dangerous fucking with them too.
But I mean, Strider still kick you in the face and kill you. You know what I mean? Like I'm just.
Yeah,
Like,
you get your ass.
But they're
ripped.
not like raptors though, where they're like actively trying to kill you and shit. You know what I mean?
Yo, I mean, like I said, I think the mounts. And I've been pretty accurate with the analysis of Horizon. I think the Claw Striders, which is the Velociraptor looking things, are going to be used for like broken terrain. You know what I mean? Stuff that's kind of hard to kind of travel through, and if you want to get to one place to another, you could do that. Where Striders won't be able to do it. I think Striders are going to be really good with like flatlands, and you can move from one place to another in that particular regard. And in terms of underwater shit, they mentioned about a current being strong, so I imagine it'll be locked out to you until you can override a machine that could like propel you forward. By the way, Jemiah, I believe they had that vehicle, underwater propulsion unit or some shit like that, in Tomb Raider 3.
I mean, they had it in a couple games, but yeah.
Yo, you know what I find interesting, man? The fact that they did not want to confirm nor deny the fact that there are going to be flying mounts in the game. Yo, but they completely denied that you can ride the Tremor Tusk.
Well, the thing is, I think they don't want to. I think they want to save it. B, I think that they know people are going to get upset because they want to ride the Stormbird. But
I don't think there's gonna be flying from that. From after I read that, I don't think there is.
How much you want to bet?
Oh no, man, they're being kind of
Yeah,
coy
we can-
about it, man.
I mean, we can bet whatever, but like, I think that I just think that if they are gonna add flying to the game, it's gonna be like now they're doing it now, like you know what I mean, like they're adding to the game, but I don't know if it was always meant to be because just the way like he said with the tremor tests is the only reason why they didn't have the tremor test is because when you zoom back on the camera, it looked like you were just controlling the tremor test itself, and you couldn't really see Aloy. And he said he wants you to feel like you're playing as Aloy the entire time. So it was a choice on their part artistically not to put you on top of the tremor test. Like they could have did it. It just didn't feel right to them. So with the flying, I don't know how you didn't say like you can fly, high in the sky and shit, and then Aloy would be small, which would be up close. Like you know
Well,
what I'm saying? So
his
I'm
statement
skeptical about
was
that.
bigger machines he didn't want you to ride because it looked like you were moving the big machine instead of Aloy being on there. Now, that also rules out a Stormbird. You cannot ride a Stormbird or Thunderjaw or any of that shit. That doesn't rule out a Glenhawk though. You know what I mean?
You know,
I mean,
if they were going to like outright say, you know, that they weren't gonna do like the big mounts in the game, you would think, right, just to shut that whole conversation down, like, yo, we're not gonna have mounts in the game. Like we just want to set that expectation right now.
I don't know. Like I said, maybe they're still trying to make it work, and like they don't want to say yes or no until like they finally get it figured out. Because like, how far can you travel on these birds? Like, you know what I mean? Are you gonna be able to fly into the goddamn Pacific? Are you gonna be able to fly like back to Utah and shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They're not
how do
coy.
you
They're
limit
not
how you limit the
coy.
player from flying around the whole goddamn map and opening everything up on the first fucking go through? You know what I mean? Like, just,
They're not coy.
You know what I
and
think?
telling you not to go. Like I remember when you first opened the game up, and they're like, "Oh, I don't, not that way," and they'll turn you around. They're not coy in doing that.
You know what I
Right,
think
yeah.
they might do, is what they might actually do if they do add flying into the game is they might not even give you like a mount to fly like the Glint Hawks or one of the other ones. What they might do is they might give you like some kind of hardware to do it with, you know what I'm saying? Because they have like the glider, you know what I'm saying? They gave you the glider in the game. Maybe what they could do is they can give you like some kind of upgrade for the glider. And instead of you flying like infinitely over the map, it gives you kind of like, you know, you could fly for a while and you glide across the, you know, like the landscape or something like that. Like they did something similar in what you call it, Crackdown 3, where you got this glider and you could jump off of a high building and eventually you'll hit the ground because I mean you're not really flying, you're just gliding across the you know, across the landscape. So I mean they might do something like that.
You know, they
I
said
mean, from
too.
what he's saying, he says like they really hear people really want this feature. So I think like they're just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? And they don't want to say yes, and then they can't make it work and have to take it out.
I think that what they're doing is that's marketing. I think what he's saying is marketing. You know what I mean? This was a very meaty gameplay review. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to say every fucking thing. I mean, this showed a lot. And
The
he
only reason, like I told you, said Josh, the only reason why I want them to have flying is so people like Devil Shooter won't say the game was held back.
well,
So I
Devin
can
Shooter
just
didn't
fucking
even
live
beat the
my
first
life
game.
and
He
enjoy the
didn't even
game
beat the first game.
instead of hearing for the next goddamn
Okay.
6 months how it was held back. I
Well,
don't want to
you're
have to
not
deal with that
you're
shit,
not
bro.
you're not gonna hear it from me though.
Well, not you, but like people who are just out there just to see people, just to cause trouble. I'm like, see, just no flying. It was held back. Like I don't have
I'll
time
be
for that
honest. Even if there is flying, I'll just walk everywhere. That's how I play my
shit.
open
This
world games
motherfucker, bro.
anyway.
What's wrong with you?
Like,
Yeah, I do. I just walk everywhere.
what's
Yo,
wrong
I
with
see
you?
naked chicks. I just turn around and walk away. Fuck that. Like, whoa, bro. Like, what's going on?
What the
You
thing
don't
is
like anything good. Like, what's going on?
the thing is right. Well, you know what? Instead of you turning off the game, Devil Shooter, you don't have to use the Velo Surges if you don't like the cinematics. But I mean,
Exactly.
because if you play fighting games, there's always the cinematic where you do crazy shit, and that's kind of like how fighting games work as well. Um, one of the things that I will say, um, is that the way I can interpret like what they're going to do in terms of the flying situation is, I mean, honestly, like, well, they said this. This is why I have hope for it. They literally came out and said they weren't. They had that gliding feature a while before the first game released, and their engine weren't capable of doing it, but somehow it's capable of doing it now, which makes me feel
I
like the software is improved. And
I think Death Stranding really helped the Decima engine.
I wouldn't say Death Stranding, honestly. Retro can.
No, Death Stranding has like this tightrope thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
some people brought that up. Yeah,
the what?
Well,
Type.
the fact that you have to.
And it's been rumored that Kojima made several improvements to the engine. So who knows? Maybe it did.
now
He
they're
made
saying
lighting.
that
He made
Sony
lighting
didn't-
improvements.
They're saying that Sony Ben is going to be using the new Decima engine, whatever that means.
Oh,
So, like,
good. I think Decima's better than.
I hope so. The only thing.
Yo,
They were using
yo, what's
Unreal,
good,
right?
Retro?
but UE5 is gonna be a movie though. Like any knucklehead can go play UE5, download some assets, and make a game, make it like a whatever, look amazing. Like that shit's like copy and paste, bro. Like
Hey, I was
you're gonna
looking.
see
I was looking
lot
at,
of developers
I was
make,
looking at
make games in
UE5.
UE5.
I was
Yeah.
looking at UE5. They have like a library of like props and stuff like that. I was looking at the nanite technology as well, and turns out that they have some kind of subdivision technology. Whereas if you get closer to the object, it starts adding polygons. The nanite is the opposite. You put in your highest model polygons and stuff like that, and it will subtract the game, like the engine. You tell it that it's a nanite object, and it will scan it and take different steps and reducing its model by itself. So I feel like that's.
See, if you had a PC, Josh, you could just play with the Unreal Engine demo right now.
I don't even like Unreal. How about that?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about messing around with that. To be honest with you, man, I was gonna download it and mess around with the
Yeah.
shit.
You know what you
I
should.
used to have UE4, but that shit is fucking hieroglyphics, man. Like, it's so hard to use.
Ken, you know what you should start messing with?
What's up?
Better internet.
What, my penis?
Dreams.
This is my penis. This nigga. So, this nigga. Wow. All right. So I want to say this. At least this is all I would have to say about this subject. Is the technology. Really quickly, there's an extra layer of texture detail, polygonal detail, ripple effects, underwater lighting in general that's on the PS5. So there's literally a fucking sparkling coat of paint on this version, and the fact that it could do 60 frames per second on top of it. Now, a lot of people were wondering why can't Horizon Zero Dawn do 60 frames per second. And here's the thing: the physics in this iteration of the engine is tied to, or the frame rate is tied to the physics. It's tied to the way things get destroyed. It's tied to the particles. Everything is timed in a specific way. So they had to do a lot of work to make it 60 frames per second. And all of that is tied to its frame rate. So that's why they weren't like so like coy. They were kind of like reluctant on doing it. When you look at Uncharted, right? Uncharted already has, like, Uncharted is the engine of The Last of Us, right? So they already have a 60 frames per second mode, which is the multiplayer. What do you call it? Days Gone is Unreal 4, which always has a 60 frames per second mode. You know what I'm saying? Those games already have a 60 frames per second mode, except for the Uncharted. Killzone was as well, but they made so many changes to the Killzone engine, which is Decima, that it's going to be hard for them to do it. But this one, they thought about that shit and was like, you know what, I kind of want off the rip that this game has a 60 frames per second mode. I'm kind of curious to see what it would look like or feel like. Because I know in the PC
I'm playing this
version,
shit at 4K 30, nigga.
I know the PC version, her hair was fucked up. The synchronization of her mouth and just the talking and stuff like that was fucked up as well. All of that was out of sync, and when you raise the frame rate. Yo, I just have a quick question for everybody. What mode are you going to play the game in? Mine is going to be 4K
4K 60, bro.
60.
4K 60, bro.
60
There's no 4K 60 mode. What?
Oh, yeah.
Dynamic 4K 60.
Okay, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's not gonna be no 4K 60.
What happened if it is? What happened if it is, Jemiah? What happened if it is?
Native 4K 60? Then
Right.
I'll be fucking.
Nah, I didn't say native 4K. I said 4K 60.
It'll probably be like 18. It'd be like 1880p scaled up.
Probably going
I mean,
it's probably going to have checkerboard
listen,
shit.
It depends on how great, because he said you gotta have ray tracing and stuff in there, like the sound and the other stuff. So like, we'll see if the visuals is really like hindered by the 60 FPS mode. I'll just play it in 30. Like, I have no problem playing a game in 30. Like, I like the first game, so I don't understand why all of a sudden dudes need 60 FPS overnight when dudes fucking happy playing 7 years of fucking 30 FPS games and beyond. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Like,
y'all
now all
are
of a
some
sudden every
y'all are
day,
some 60 fips whores, yo. I don't like none of y'all.
bro. I went to PC for this performance and all this shit. You know what I mean? Graphics and shit. Like, dudes who stayed on consoles this whole time, now all of a sudden they got all fucking uppity and bougie. Like, oh, I
Real
don't know.
bougie.
If they don't have a 60 FPS mode, I can't play the game.
Right,
Like,
isn't
oh my
it? Yo,
God,
they
like,
real
this is
bougie
trash.
with that shit, yo.
I'm like, what? Who are you dudes, bro?
you didn't even know what fucking a stable 30 frames was. All of a sudden, you
Bro,
bougie.
when PC players said that they dropped their shit down to 1440p to get higher frames, we got clowned for decades. Now all of a sudden that's the thing to do? Stop it, bro. I can't.
I can't
mind
play
playing
no more
in
30.
I mean, I don't mind playing in 30 FPS, man. I mean, I would prefer 60 FPS. You know, if I had the option. I mean, I'm definitely gonna play it in 60 FPS. I just want the performance, man. I mean, I think the game is gonna look great either way.
I mean, I'm a graphics whore, so my first playthrough definitely is gonna be 4K. But you know, I want to see the best quality possible. You know what I mean?
So Umar,
I want
this
that
is
shit to
this is
pop.
the thing that Mark
you're gonna be
Sony said
playing
this.
that shit in a slideshow.
Mark Cerny said this shit. There are elements to the GPU which calculates rays or it traces rays or whatever the case is. That's how it calculates things, and you can use that with sound or whatever you want. Any kind of tracing can even be used for physics. And they say that they are going to focus on sound, tracing sound. So expect the soundscapes in this game to be absolutely unreal.
Yeah, you gotta hear birds and shit chirping and lizards
Right.
fucking crawling. You be always
The 3D
you know what I
sound,
mean?
the 3D sound is going to be through the fucking roof. They also using it to process particles and physics and stuff like that. So one of the things that I believe was using this shit was when the trimmer tusk and they shot all them pieces of wood and that fell off and everybody was amazed by that.
Yeah.
I think that's using it as well, and some other processing powers that they didn't processing processes that they didn't really go into in terms of global illumination, which is like, you know, light bounces. You can kind of tell it's in the game, but I don't know what extent because you can have multiple bounces. So usually in video games they only have one bounce. So the sun would hit. The lights would hit the surface or something, and then that's and it bounce back up. That's the one pass. And you could tell underneath her legs, the sand, the light from the sand is bouncing on her legs as I was looking in between her leaves. So
Yeah, you were looking for that bacon strip.
or what?
Stop it. Yo, I'm reporting all y'all niggas, bro. Like, stop.
She is 20 years old. Relax. Relax.
Yo, I wanted.
Yo,
I
Aloy, yo, you raised Aloy from a baby, nigga. Y'all niggas
I
should be
didn't
ashamed
raise
of
that
yourself,
bitch.
nigga.
Fucking
Like-
Ross did. I had nothing to do with that part.
Like, y'all niggas is
I got nothing to do with that bitch. Nah, I actually wanted to bring something up before I switched it over back to Josh to go into the next topic. But one thing that I'm actually really looking forward to is actually the DualSense controller, yo. They mentioned that when you pull back the bow, you can actually feel the tension in the DualSense, like in the triggers. Like, I think that's gonna be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like on top of all this stuff.
They said that
Bro,
when you
this
walk
game is
through the
gonna be
leaves.
so fucking good, nigga. That's why this whole cross-gen shit has me so disappointed in gamers.
Yo,
bro.
you
Like,
are so fixated on this cross. That really bothers you.
Yeah, because my thing is like, what do Sony dudes want? Like, because I'm starting to think y'all niggas don't. Because first of all, you look at the games, how many people beat the games? It's not that high.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Out of the whole user base.
On user,
A lot of these
on
exclusives
Twitter
don't
they said it
sell
was
over
on
it.
Twitter they said it was mid. By the way, this was a mid
Yeah.
title. All of a sudden now they're fans. I'll be watching
A
the
lot of
reactions.
And
I'll be watching the
Mid-dawn.
reactions. Nobody knows who fucking Aaron is. That shit is so annoying.
Exactly.
They
like,
be like,
who's that guy?
They be like,
it's Aaron,
who's?
nigga.
They be like, oh, it's him. All they know is fucking Aloy, and then they mispronounce her name, Alloy. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
somebody was like, maybe she'll get with him. I'm like, she already curved that nigga in part 1. What are you talking about?
She did. She went.
I don't know, man. I mean, the way she was eyeing him in that trailer, though.
Nah,
I
yeah.
mean-
Yo, Aloy about that business, bro. She's like too smart for that nigga, bro. Like,
She
you know
did.
what I mean?
No, she did. Yo, she did falter a little bit when she was messing with Varl.
Oh yeah, but her borrow.
Varl.
I don't know.
Nah.
Love works in mysterious ways.
Nah, because even when you talking to Varl, she's like, I can't wait to see you again. And she's like, maybe. And then she just walked away like yo, she's a robot, bro. She don't give a...
She is. That's why her name is Aloy. She gonna
She
fall.
not trying to fuck with these niggas.
Yo, she gonna fall, yo, and it'll be wires dangling from the cut, yo. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, what if she got cut open and she had wires, right? That should have been crazy, right?
I'm like,
that should have blown niggas' minds.
I'm like, I knew that bitch was fucking a robot the whole time, yo. Sentient ass bitch.
Yeah. Yo, did you guys have anything else quick you wanted to say before we moved on to the next topic?
Nah.
Yo, so we're gonna go right into this topic. This is gonna be an interesting one, specifically for Umar. He likes this shit. It's gonna be the investors meeting of PlayStation and all the stuff that it has. So I want to break this down just a little bit. He's stupid. Yo, magnificent. Yo, you get on my nerves. That nigga said it's dangerous. Oh man, so there were a lot of interesting things that came out of that investor meeting a few weeks ago, in terms of what Sony will be doing in the future. And I'm just trying to pull that up here. Did I do it already? Let me see here, Mark. The dimension. No, that's not it. Give me a second. Let's try.
Yo, Retro Ken, yo, that DualSense is dope, man. Facts, bro.
That shit used to piss me off in Godfall, though, when that shit would, like, it would lock you into that fucking heavy tag, and then you get smacked up by these fucking idiots, like...
Bro, don't get me... Do not get me started on Godfall, yo. I will tear that game apart.
I mean, I beat it. I didn't think it was terrible. I mean, I liked it a little bit. I mean, the story was kind of, like, basic as fuck, but yeah.
I hate the fact that they lock you into the animation, yo. Like, when you... Yo, I can't tell you how much that irritates the hell out of me, man. When you try to do, like, you literally have to commit to the attack, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird because it's kind of, like, counterproductive because the game is so fast-paced. They lock you into the fucking animation every single time.
I thought that's how you wanted it, getting locked in.
Nah, because you be getting smacked for no reason, though, you know what I mean? You're like, yo, I'm trying to, like, my hands are moving, but the guy's fucking standing there like an idiot, you know what I mean? Like...
So I got the situation for you, the future of PlayStation. I'm sorry for the delay. I forgot I sent it to Ken in a different thing. So I'm gonna read all of this over and then we can discuss. So the first things first, the mission of PlayStation, which is absolutely single player, narrative driven games. That's the DNA of Sony. That's what they said in this investors meeting. They are also focusing on new IPs, big games, smaller and more innovative games, single player stories, and multiplayer. Now, the curious thing is that they actually want multiplayer games with stories. I don't know, i.e., sounds like Destiny to me. Or what's that other game that people were like that's made by the Gears of War people? That fucking magnificent black lights.
I'm not sure. Oh, Outriders?
Outriders, yeah.
I'm like, what?
I couldn't.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
So they said that they are a creator-led organization. So they like they want to see people make original stuff to kind of bolster their shit. You know what I'm saying? To make it stand out. They said they want to find the best possible development studios in the world to help them with their passionate ideas, right? They are interested in new IPs. New IPs is the lifeblood of their gaming, and new IPs is also part of their strategy. Speaking of which, the whole debacle about Days Gone not having a storyline. Days Gone not having, Ben Studios not working on Days Gone 2. Let me see what he says. He said, I'm going to call Sony and tell them to give us the ability to download PS1 3. I want that so badly. You have no idea, Retro. No idea.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say something about him. Yo, fight that good fight, yo.
I don't know if they're going to do it, but that's definitely a passion of mine.
Who's going to do that, though?
Huh?
Who's going to work on that?
No, it's about Sony. So people were like...
No, I'm saying, like... people want Sony to do all this extra shit, but shouldn't they be worried about Sony making PS5 games, right? Is that the whole argument
they
now?
Want their
you
cake,
want Sony to do a bunch of other shit on the side.
They want their cake and eat it. Is that a problem?
But he also wanted to make only PS5 games, too.
Their cake and eat it.
Like when people say, "Yeah, remake this game or whatever," somebody has to do that. Blue Point's only one studio. You can't
And
remake every goddamn game.
somebody got to get
You know
paid
what I
to
mean?
do it too. So I mean, it's not going to be fucking free. But okay. Anyway, Ben Studios. Everybody kept saying that fucking Days Gone was mid. Days Gone was buggy. Days Gone was like one of the worst games that Sony has made. And then all of a sudden, when Jason Schreier came out of nowhere, it was like, oh, they denied Days Gone 2. How horrible of that company. Well, y'all didn't even fucking like the original ones. Do you want them to make more of it? Like the fuck?
Facts.
Either way,
That bitch Lucy, that bitch Lucy O'Brien had the nerve to
yo,
say
you
that
got
she
a
wanted
you
a
got a
sequel.
bone to pick with that bitch.
Like
I
she
can
had
see.
she had some balls, bro. Like
Yeah.
she's the
Wait,
one who
wasn't she
said
the one
that.
who reviewed the game?
Mhm.
No, yeah, she was the one who said that. Deacon said that his wife had a nice ass, whatever. It was all like misogynist, whatever, nonsense shit.
And
And
the
then you
zombie.
turn
I
around and
think
say,
who said the
"Oh
zombies were
no,
white? I can't
they don't
believe
have
the
a
zombies were white. That's so
Yeah,
like racist.
exactly. Like there's no black zombies. Like nigga, did you play the game
She
where they told you
didn't.
about the vitalism and shit, like where they're turning white because of the pigment and shit, whatever?
She didn't.
Like
She didn't get it. She didn't know.
like
Stupid
this is what I'm
ass.
talking about when people don't play games, but yet they're allowed to like just have their fucking
She wasn't
opinion and
trying to hear
matter.
that shit, yo.
Nah, but then
She
she
was
came through
looking.
and said she wanted a sequel though.
She was looking for.
How's that work?
She was looking for any way to get clicks. But anyway, the
Bro,
whole
that was all a clout shit, man.
it was.
That's all it was.
It was. Now, Sony, as I said multiple times, they're looking for new IPs. And Ben Studio, even though they're not working on Days Gone 2 right now, because guess what? You can put stuff on the shelf and things can get denied the first time around and you can come back to it later. Horizon Zero Dawn was one of them, by the way. Days Gone is working on a new IP that will share the open world systems from Days Gone, by the way. They say here, I can tell you, we're not going to risk quality. We want to ship extremely high quality games, finished games, and we have to do that obviously without pushing our teams to the breaking point. That said, it is very important to have showpieces for the PS5. Hence the development of Returnal and Ratchet. They are both PlayStation 5 exclusives. Now, what that is coming from is that they are saying this because people, crunch time, basically. Crunch. Oh my God, they are working
Bro,
overtime.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Josh, ever since niggas stopped crunching, these games been looking real crunchy. You know what I mean?
Shut
Like,
up. Yo, it do, or it'd be delayed to hell. So like, y'all gonna have to pick your poison. You're gonna have to wait 4 years to get the fucking game because there's no crunch and shit like that. So now Sony gotta pretend like there's no crunch, but really it is. You know what I'm saying? But niggas was so free to tell Jason Schreier, we are suffering here, the suffrage. You know what I'm saying? Man, anyway, so I'm not even going to go into that one. Either way, they want to let you know on why the games are being delayed, why, God of War was being delayed. That's where that statement was coming from, because God of War was delayed because they wanted to avoid crunching as well. So, and then on top of it, they are doing a cross-generation thing. So that being said, I'm almost done here, by the way. This is talk about the PC and why they're making games on PC. We are early in our planning for the PC, right? We hope that a new set of fans can and will enjoy these titles. We want to reach new gamers who haven't experienced the great stories, characters, and worlds that we built. Releasing games on a PC will not come ever at the expense of building an exciting lineup of our great console games. Also, and lastly, if you were a big fan of Astro's Playroom, they have expanded Team Asobi to the max. And they were going to try to make a world appeal type game, which I think really Astro's Playroom is kind of worldwide appeal. And that's what we got. What's your thought on that one?
I wanted to reply to Ken in the chat, yo. Like he said, I want both. Y'all act like they can't focus on both. We're talking about PlayStation here. Yo, they can't do both, man. Like you can't have.
Oh, no, they can. They can.
No,
who's
I'm
gonna
talking.
work on these games?
They can. Listen, Ken. Not Ken. Retro Ken. Listen, you can have both. You can have both. You just gonna have to wait a long fucking time. That's all. You can wait. Can you wait? Okay. You can wait.
I mean, like you want this shit now, and it's like, dude, like, what do you want? Do you want PS5 games? Do you want PS3 games? I mean, like, you got to make up your mind, man. I mean, they can't push out, you know, these $300 million whatever budget games, right? And then focus on backwards compatibility at the same time. I mean, it doesn't work like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Realize uh, why can't they? No, they can. I told you they can. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Retro. This is the biggest thing about this story. The biggest problem that most gamers are not looking at is the amount of people that want PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games are so minuscule. It is so small.
It's marginal, yo.
Not only that, some of these games don't even have the original source code anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think with Halo or one of those games, or some game with Xbox, they have to go to fucking modders just to get the source
Halo is
code
one
just
too.
to make the game.
That's why they're having trouble with That's why they're having trouble with what do you call it? The Halo Master Chief
MCC?
Collection.
Yeah, like it's like, bro, you guys, like somebody has to actually port these games and make them able to be natively played on the PS5. Like somebody has to do that. Who's gonna be Naughty Dog gonna do that? Insomniac, fucking Sucker Punch. Like who's gonna hire out third party people and waste money on that shit for like 4 people that want to do it? Like no, they're not gonna do that shit, bro. I want to see fucking Spider-Man 2. I want to see fucking some new shit. You know what I mean? I want to see what they're doing. I don't want to have them focus on backwards compatibility for PS Now, a service that they don't even push.
He's just not saying necessarily right now, but I would love to see it. We all would love to see that, dude. I would love to see it. But realistically, we are such a minority. You gotta understand this as well. I mean, it is. You can't please everyone, and where they're putting their money into is where the money is at, which is the new games. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't gonna sell, like whatever job that you have right now, they're not gonna focus on something that is not selling. Yes, no company is gonna do that. Doesn't matter what it is.
But if you really want to play PS1 and 2, at least you can go get the the CD-ROMs and play them shit on an emulator right now. Like
you can,
Every once in a while, I'll boot up Final Fantasy Tactics on my PS. Is it PSX? Is it PSXR? What this shit
It's
called?
PCSXR.
PSXC or C or something like that. Yeah, like
Yeah,
whatever that emulator is.
PCSXR.
Yeah, like that
money
bro.
that money have to go somewhere. And if you talk about non-Sony games, some of these companies don't even exist anymore. They don't even exist anymore. Where are you going to, if you buy it, who's going to get the money? That's a big problem too. That's why backwards compatibility is a pain in the ass, really. Well, we're going to start off with
Xbox has like 44 games that are actual backwards compatibility, but people act like it's the whole entire library and shit.
Yeah, they're wild. I'm gonna break this shit down, right? Is that Devil?
Yeah, I'm here. What up?
No, I thought you were saying something.
Oh.
All right. Let's break this down. How do you guys feel about the direction of single player narrative driven games, and the fact that if they do make a multiplayer game, they want it storyline? What do you think, Devil Shooter?
The story game. I really like the story game. I don't want to see no Destiny. I don't want to see no Destiny, Outriders, thing like that.
That's just
If
coming.
they're gonna make a multiplayer, oh, I know it's coming. But if there's gonna be multiplayer, I want to see like a Warhawk, something like that. Something like truly multiplayer, not like no co-op shit. Just
Well, that Firewatch studio, right? That they're assembling. They're definitely making a shooter game, right? Like
it's going to be some sort of multiplayer type thing, but they're probably going to inject the story. Jeremy, what do you think? What is your take on it? Jeremy, are you there? Hello, it's me. Yo, Jeremy.
Probably fighting off his kids right now.
Yeah, they're probably fucking him up. Jemiah, what do you think about that shit? Story.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute.
All right. What do you think about Sony's direction of single player narrative driven games and them making multiplayer games that have the single player or that has like the story driven modes? What do you think about that?
like I'd like some co-op games like Resident Evil 6. I don't really like the way it was done, but I like some games like that. But I love my single player experiences. If they add onto it, like they did more on like what they did with like Ghost of Tsushima and shit like that, and they fleshed that out more and added that into a single player game and threw some shit you can buy or whatever, and it's a choice. I'm totally cool with that because if I don't like it, I still got my game.
Ken, what about you?
So as far as the single player stuff, man, obviously I want to see them. I mean, they're gonna keep doing that shit. I mean, that's really what Sony's known for. I don't think that's gonna stop anytime soon. As far as like the whole multiplayer thing, I mean, I've always been like an advocate for like trying to have, Sony put more multiplayer focused games on their console. As far as like the direction for it, I mean, I'm not a big fan of like live service style games. You know what I'm saying?
I hate them.
I just don't like. Yeah, I don't like them. I mean, it is what it is, man. I don't like the whole microtransaction thing. I'm just not for that whole model personally.
What about if the
However,
gameplay, what about if the gameplay is
I
good?
will say, I mean, well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, if they're able to like give you, I don't know, like a good story and a good multiplayer, whatever, right? Especially on the same quality as some of their other games, just multiplayer format. I'm okay with that, man. I'm not gonna complain about it. I mean, like for example, I played Shadow of War, man. Which Shadow of War was a single player game that had loot boxes and microtransactions in that game as well. I mean, they did that shit, and I still played it, and I love the game. So, I mean, if they could do that, I'm okay with it, man. I'm not really gonna complain about it, but I'm not really like a big fan of this whole live service style thing that they're trying to go for.
What about you, Jemiah?
I think Sony's looking at like Final Fantasy 14, looking at games like that, like Warframe and shit like that, and they're saying like, yo, I want that money too. You know what I mean? So, like I said, with Firewatch Studios, they get that team together right there. They're gonna make a game for them. Probably they're gonna get like Jade Raymond maybe make a multiplayer game, whatever she's doing. So I don't think Sony's gonna take away from their actual like standard, IPs or their actual studios. They're building studios up to make these games, which is fine to me because that's not gonna hinder any of the single player experiences. So, I mean, go for it. I mean, like you said, the shit sucks having to pay for shit, but like I used to play WoW, like, and WoW was like fucking the
That's
bane of
crazy
your life,
expensive.
bro. I played WoW for like 5 years. I have characters that have over a year play time on that shit. Like, it's fucking like that's everything costs money in that game, man. Nowadays though, like you can
Every
actually
month, every expansion too.
well nowadays though you can actually use gold to buy expansions and buy fucking subscriptions for your monthly instead of having to pay actual money. Like if you
When
fought
that
in gold
shit
or
was
whatever.
hot, it wasn't though.
Oh yeah,
That shit was what, $15 a month? You play that shit for 5 years, you buy the expansion. It's a couple $1,000 game.
it's more than that. Like
Yeah, I know. I know people who spent like
yo,
fucking
just to fucking
car money on that shit.
do like class changes, fucking do like the change from horde to alliance, to change your name costs $5, to change servers costs $10. Everything about that game costs money, bro. Like I spent a small fortune playing WoW, bro, but I love every minute of it. So
I know a lot of people that do play well. Now we're going to go on to the new IPs. Now this is to answer your question, Umar, or what you or address your question. Based off of everything that I read at the start of this subject, right? Where do you think these new how can I put this? The new IPs that Sony are investing in, right? Do you think that they're going to continue with the single player games, the single player story narrative? Do you believe them in that case?
You know,
Yeah, go on.
I, f- I feel like what they're probably gonna do, man, is something like what they did with SOCOM 4, on the PS3, because that had a pretty robust story. I mean, whether you liked it or not is another story, but and they also had the multiplayer too. So, I mean, they might have like a multiplayer game where you have like a story that you can get into, but it's a multiplayer game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be known for the multiplayer. So I mean, I think they might do some stuff like that.
What about
As
you,
far as
Devil?
the single player games,
Oh, go
I mean,
ahead, my bad.
obviously, they're still gonna do that shit.
What about you, Devil Shooter? Where do you think the direction is going to be for new IPs based off of the information that they stated?
Yeah. This is gonna be single player stuff for the most part. They're probably gonna do like the Last of Us multiple. You know, we talked about that Last of Us multiplayer faction thing. But yeah, I think the bread and butter is gonna be single player games. I do want to see like now again I said not Destiny, but something like Warhawk. I'd love to see that come back, or games like Warhawk.
Yeah, that was.
But
Everyone kept telling me when I used to play Warhawk that it was just like Battlefield. I'm like, yo, you had. I mean, they're similar, but you had to be there.
yeah,
It's not the same. It isn't.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
wait
it's
to see
definitely not the
Battlefield
same.
6.
Oh, dude, I can't wait
I
either.
want to see what they're gonna do. I'm curious to see about that
This shit
too.
about to be a movie, nigga.
Why is everybody so hyped for Battlefield, man? I don't get it.
Because it just looks good. I mean, I don't care
It's
about the game
Something
itself,
other
but
than
I
fucking
just want-
COD.
I want to see how far they can push
This is
it.
gonna be. They're finally going back to modern day. The last two.
But my,
games
my
were-
biggest thing is I just want to see how far they're gonna push the fucking graphics. I remember when Battlefield was its own PC.
No, I was really hoping it would be like next gen only, so we can get like more players. And
Well,
bigger maps.
they already said that the PS4 version is gonna be completely different from the next gen version. Like they already came out and said
Oh,
like
they
don't.
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
like they're like we're not even playing games. Like this shit's gonna be drastically different.
I hope so. 'Cause I was
Jemiah,
really hoping for like bigger
Yeah, I
maps,
think they pulled.
more
I think they
players.
pulled people from other studios to work on, or like Codemasters or Need for Speed and shit to help work on that shit because they're doing two separate versions of that shit. So they're
Yeah.
pulling people from
Well,
other
well-
studios to get that shit done.
well,
They're probably gonna show that shit on a 3090. Ooh, that's gonna be so.
this
it's
nigga,
gonna
this
look
PC
so good.
fucking talk.
RTX
We're
gonna
moving
be on,
on
nigga.
with this PC shit. Not Jemiah. Jeremy,
You said-
What?
where do you think the direction Sony is going to go with their new IPs? They're making new ones for sure.
I think they're add multiplayer into them. Like Horizon looks like that shit's already set up for that shit.
They were going to make a co-op game, actually, a standalone co-op game.
I would really like a co-op game too.
And I don't think anything's wrong with that either. Like, if you want to buy different things, like you can or incorporate microtransactions for outfits. I'll be a basic bitch running around. I wouldn't pay for it. I would have the same default clothes around and still whoop your ass. But
I mean, as long as they make it where you can still get your stuff like in game and it's not like a ridiculous grind to get it. Like what they did with
Yeah, like
Battlefront 2.
Ubisoft games.
Yeah, or EA. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck
Like
that shit. I'm done with that shit.
I think Ghost of Tsushima is a good mode to follow. Release the single player first, and then the multiplayer.
it is. It allowed for them to kind of focus on getting the game out and having it a certain quality without pushing everything, without it delaying.
Yeah.
Jemiah, what about you?
That's what-
Where's your direction? Where do you think the direction that Sony is going to go with their new IPs?
I think they're gonna do a lot more single player games as always, and then like I said, they're gonna hire studios to do like multiplayer games on the side, like Destruction All Stars type of games, or Predator, like smaller games like that.
Oh god.
But I don't see. I mean, besides Naughty Dog doing factions, I don't see them really like going crazy hard on the multiplayer games. You know what I mean?
No, that's an interesting thing as to why we haven't seen factions yet. I mean, if it turns out to be like the original Last of Us, man, and that was what we were waiting for the whole time, that's going to be a problem. All I need is my 60 fips. They're precious to me this nigga. Anyway, now I think the last thing that we want to talk about before we close shop here is the PC. This is my take on all of this. And Umar, you mentioned, and we are all on the same page. The way that Sony structured their ecosystem is that you get lured in by the story-driven stuff, right? And you will wait between periods or cycles for the next story-driven game. And in that process, they can release certain things like multiplayer, multiplayer games or AA games or whatever the case is. But AAA games is such a huge part of PlayStation at this moment. They found their mojo, for sure. For sure, it sells just like Nintendo games. Their shit is platform family friendly shits, and Sony's is AAA, single player driven, story driven games. They got their mojo, so it ain't going anywhere.
Yo,
Um,
I wanted to say something, man, because I was thinking about this earlier today. I was playing Returnal, man, and I absolutely love the game.
then you
And
say
I
that
was
you were
just thinking,
like
I was like,
mad
yo,
on it.
I was what?
You were like mad on it. You was like, I don't feel
Nah,
like
man,
playing
I
it. I don't feel
no,
like
you know,
playing
no. You know what it is? You know what it is? I I was still trying to figure out like how the game worked, right? And now that I beat the game, because I actually beat the shit, I know what I'm doing. So now that I know what I'm doing, it's like, okay, all right, I'm kind of like getting into the groove. You know what I mean? Like my own thing. But aside from that, I was thinking about. I was like, yo, I've really liked this game, right? And then on Friday we're coming out with Ratchet and Clank, right? And then we saw this gameplay for Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever, which obviously that looked incredible too.
Forbidden
So
West.
I've I really like the fact that they're focusing and kind of like leaning into this like AAA. It feels like the games that we will get are going to be like high quality games. You know, and I want that. I want to see Sony like keep pushing out like these high quality, AAA games. You know what I'm saying? Like every time we get one, it's like, yo, that shit was lit. You know what I'm saying?
There was another reason why Sony is focusing on AAA games because again, they're trying to become more, have more synergy within their sectors. And there was one thing on the slide where they were trying to incorporate the Sony movies with their games. You have the HBO Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? The Ratchet and Clank movie, et cetera, et cetera. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they make a Horizon movie. You know what I'm saying? Because the movie industry is lacking in ideas. You know what I'm saying? You have superhero movies and that's it. So if it's flashy enough to be cinematic, then they're going to probably make it into some sort of movie or show. Me and Magnificent Black was talking about this. I would love to see a show based off of Returnal. I would love to see that shit and have it so esoteric and deep as the game itself. I would love to see some wild shit like that. I would love it.
Me too.
You would just be looking at her ass the whole time, man.
Be that as it may.
Nigga, as it should be.
As it should be. She got cake on cake, y'all. When she said that at the end of that game, she was like, "I've been waiting for so long to get my answer. Now give it to me." I said, "Oh shit." I was like, "Yo, she wow." But last subject on this one is releasing games on the PC. A lot of people were pissed off about that. On God, a lot of people have been saying some shit about
Oh no.
it being on PC, having their games on PC, and I guess I want to say this. It's not about. We already know that they're going to put things out on PC. I guess the real question here is how far apart do you think the console release and the PC release will be for their games? Because it's going to happen. They want to put it on PC. They want more people to see their IPs so they can stretch that far out. So we're going to go down the list. Jemiah, how long do you think the period in between the console and PC for their IPs?
I think it may be generational.
It didn't
Like they have enough PS4 games to like put one or two out every year for like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt they're gonna put out like 4 PS4 games a fucking year and shit. You know what I mean? On PC, so they'll probably do like Uncharted's coming. That'll probably come out this fall maybe. Then they'll do like God of War. You know what I mean? And they'll just keep trickling them out. And then by the time you look around, it'd be 2025 and shit. You know what I mean? And they'd be on PS6 or some shit. So.
But what would you say? You say 4 years in between?
I'd say about the time they stop using the PS4 games to put them on PC now, they can probably do that about fucking the entire generation of PS5. And then when PS6 comes out, you just start putting all your PS5 games on PC. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they have plenty of games to draw it out, like Gravity Rush. You know, they have all those games they can put on PC. Like they have plenty of games they can just string those out for the next 6-10 years if they wanted to.
Look at Double Shooter shaking. He's shaking for that answer. I saw that fucking shake. He can't. Go on, Double Shooter.
I thought. I hope Jemiah's right. I hope it's at the very end of the generation they start putting the games out. But I have a feeling they're going to do we're going to do 3 years. Then after a little bit, they're going to say 2. I think they're going to trickle it down to the point where they're going to condition people it's day and date. I hope I'm wrong. But I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I think if Sony can get away with it, they're definitely going to try it.
I don't think they will, because I think that Sony understands the development process better than like most publishers. Like they allow their devs, like they don't really force them to put games out when they're not finished. You know what I mean?
I hope you're right, man. I really do. Like I also if Sony says Sony says 2 years, I'm gonna do my best to get a PC. 3, maybe. 4 to last year.
Wait! Stop! Just get a PC.
Yeah,
just get a PC. Just do it.
Just
do it.
I
Just
don't
do
want to
it.
do that because
Don't wait for Sony.
I don't know.
Don't wait for
don't
Sony
know
to do it. Don't wait for Sony.
Please
Just
don't
get a PC. Just get a
Please
PC.
don't get a PC. Don't do it. Bro.
Why you waiting for
waiting
for Sony to do something? Just get a
I'm
PC.
waiting. Because
Yo,
I don't
this
want to get a PC and I be wrong.
This
I'm
PC
waiting
life
for the
ain't
entire
for the faint of
generation
heart,
to
Double
play
Shooter.
some good.
You know what I
What
mean?
was that,
Say,
Jemiah?
for the faint of
I
heart.
said this PC ain't for the faint of heart, bro. Like you gotta actually enjoy PC type of games like RTSs and like 4X games and MOBAs and shit like that. Like if you don't
all the
like that,
games
don't get a PC.
The vast majority of games I like are on PC. Like
Then
There's
get
nothing
your
wrong with
ass
me
up and
playing
get a
mobile,
PC. Go on, get
But
it.
why are you gonna get a PC just to get a controller and play games that way? You must have a console. Like
Because he thinks that. I don't know. Actually,
like,
I don't.
when I play Mass Effect, I
I'm
used to play mouse
stumped.
and keyboard, like the way it's supposed to be played. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't.
I won't do it. I played with a keyboard once. My hands were, they felt bad.
Yeah, you got that
Bro,
carpal
I
tunnel.
have so much.
I'll find some kind of configuration.
Like if Returnal
At
had keyboard and mouse, I probably would have beat the game already. Like
Yeah,
No, man, it kind
I don't
kinda
like the controller, bro.
of depends for me, man, because
Wait,
there are
wait,
certain
hold on,
games
wait,
that
wait,
I
wait, wait,
prefer to play mouse and keyboard.
I'm sorry. Let me go down the line so I can. Because,
That's hating on the PC talk.
no. I'm not even worried about that. Jeremy, how long do you think the period in between console and PC for PlayStation exclusive?
It'll depend on title. I don't see Ghost staying on console exclusive that long because whenever that movie's getting ready to cook out, that game's gonna be on PC beforehand.
Nigga, I need a number.
That's just like
I need
given.
a number.
There's
Roll
not
that
a
die.
number.
Yo, roll that die.
When they need to soak up that audience to make money in more aspects than one, I can't give a number because I don't know when the fucking movie's coming out.
You know I like that. I like that answer, Jeremy, because that's why this is what they're saying. When it dries up on console, whenever it does, they're throwing that shit out.
Yeah,
on
when
PC.
they stop making money, they give it to you for free, and then they go sell it to PC people who buy that old shit for $40-$50.
With that old thing back.
Why do people say buy something old? The game is still good. Like PC doesn't have generations, bro. Like we don't have generations. We just play games.
I know. I'm just saying that they're not making any more money off it, so they can sell it to a new audience and give it to you.
Besides, as soon as you get that game, what we gonna do to it? We're gonna mod it. We're gonna upgrade it. We're gonna add reshaders. We're gonna add lighting. You know what I mean? We're gonna add physics.
Like that one mod where you had Miles Morales and Peter Parker fucking.
Bro, that's your personal fucking stock, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? You make that shit.
Yo,
you saw that shit, right, Ken? You saw that shit that Josh made?
I didn't make that shit. That was a PC, nigga. Extracting files and
Miles
shit.
Morales and Peter Parker kissing and some provocative poses and shit. Like,
Pose.
and he gonna send that shit to my fucking inbox. Like, how dare you?
That was your shit.
Died without seeing that.
That
bro.
was your shit. Y'all were pulling. You were pulling. Fucking y'all pulling fucking files from the console. That's your shits. We can't do that on console. How it happened?
It was disturbing, bro.
Ken, how long you think it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be like 3 years.
3
To
years.
be honest with you. Yeah.
Nigga, you
Days
said
Gone's
closer.
already two.
Don't change your answer. You was like, it's gonna be closer and closer to get down there in days. Yeah, you said it. Let me pull up the receipts.
This is what I said. No. This is what I said.
No. Don't worry about it. I got your receipts right here. I'm gonna post it for everybody to see. Hold on. He got scared.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. No. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now what I said. No, because when they gave that information about putting their stuff on PC, right? They said that they were gonna have some of their live service games being made by their first party studios, right? They were gonna have them involved in the development process, or whatever, right? What I said was, I think what they're gonna do is some of those multiplayer games they're gonna put day and date on PC, the ones that are made from Sony's first party studios. That's what I said. And I said, as far as the single player games, I think the time is gonna get shorter, because
But you said 3 years.
whatever.
It's already 2 years right now. So how did it extend? If you're saying it's gonna get shorter, how short are we talking?
I think it's gonna be 3 years from the release of the game.
It's 2
That's what
years
I
from the release of the game now. So you're saying
I'm talking
Days
about
Gone was 2 years.
So you're talking about they're gonna expand
Already.
it? Like what do you mean?
I don't think.
I think that they're gonna pick the games that they think have the most appeal, and they're gonna put them out however they feel like in what order. You know what I
That's
mean?
why people.
Like-
This is the answer lies in what Jemiah and what Jeremy is saying. Too many fucking J's. So here's the thing. I don't know. It's highly unlikely that Ratchet and Clank will go on PC. It's just not a PC type game. To me, it wouldn't be. Not because of technical specs. It's just the appeal isn't there. It'd be a waste of money to convert that shit over. Whereas obviously Forbidden West is, because they have games like Assassin's Creed, God of War could be, because it's like the Souls games to a certain degree. You know, Gran Turismo is possible for that shit to be on there. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is on the cloud, it's all possible. So.
Wait, didn't Days Gone come out in 2019?
Yeah, it's only 2 years. That's what I was saying.
2021.
It's only two years.
Oh, okay.
It's
Bro,
2021.
I hope to God they bring Lost Legacy to PC. I need those mods, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to the PS3 Chloe, yo, because they fucking shrunk her ass
Those
all the way.
mods, bro. We gotta mod that
I
out.
will
Don't worry
say
about
this.
that.
I will say this. That Dina from the Last of Us Part 2, that bitch was thick.
Yeah,
She was thicker than a
right.
bowl of. She was thicker than a bowl
Yo,
of milk, man.
the actual voice actress isn't that. I mean, the actual model they use isn't that thick. I don't know where he got that ass from.
She got that ass.
She was kind of thick when you looked at her from the front, but
No, she got that
when
ass
she turned to
and
the side,
thighs,
though,
yo.
I mean-
They added extra to that shit, yo. I'm gonna tell you right
And
now.
she got them thighs, yo. She don't really got a bump, but she got them thighs, though.
It's the
you know what I mean?
thighs that's doing it for me, yo. I'm gonna tell you right
Yeah.
now.
Them thick thighs save lives.
She's thicker than a bowl of grits. But I personally think it's a year. You're gonna see at max a year difference.
You guys are crazy. Bro, they still got like 1,000 PS4 games to put on PC. Do you think they're gonna go straight to PS5 games? No way.
I
I
think.
don't know, man. It seems like they're just pushing this whole PC thing a little bit harder than I thought
like-
they would, man.
Look at their investors meeting though. They only had one game going to PC, and that was they had 3 things. They had Horizon, they had Days Gone, they had Uncharted on that list. Like they still have God of War, they still have so many other games that can go to PC. So why would they just skip all those games and go to PS5 games? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like
It's
they'll come
definitely
eventually,
strategic.
but they're not gonna come like immediately. Not even in 3 years from now.
I mean, I
My
think it's gonna
answer-
be
my
like
answer is 1 year.
You'll
When
still be
everything's
getting
in.
PS4 games in 3 years coming to PC. Like you'll be getting like Ghost of Tsushima in like 2023 that'll come to PC. You know what I mean? They have plenty of games to bring to PC. Like you'll get Last of Us 2, like probably 2022. or
Yeah, it's gonna take them a
2024.
while just to soak up the last gen. We're gonna be 3/4 of the way through the new gen.
Not
Yeah,
only
like-
that,
Or
but
they-
not only
they have
that,
plenty of time.
they need to make a fucking Bloodborne remake.
Well,
Yeah, that's the
Bloodborne
one.
has
That's the game they
PC.
really wanted for a long time.
I'm
A
gonna
lot of
need
people.
that to be made.
Yeah, I think if Bloodborne went to PC, it would move the needle.
They would move that needle hardcore. And you know what too? Like if it gets the treatment that Demon Souls got, oh man.
The modders will be all over that shit, bro, like ASAP. That's why I love PC, man. People say, oh, like Crash is like modders are like, you know, like slaves or some shit. But modders do God's work, bro. Like Skyrim modded is like the best thing ever.
You mean like when they modded?
Skyrim
You mean
without
like
mods,
when they modded?
it's unplayable,
You mean like when they modded Peter Parker and Miles Morales?
bro. That was not. Yo, stop it. Josh got that shit commissioned, and now he's trying to play it off like he was some PC dude.
Not only that, but they had Aloy completely. No, excuse me, they had Ellie, The Last of Us Part 1 Ellie.
Yeah, dog. So, yeah, whoa.
That's how bad it was. They put that in Resident Evil.
She was in an adult body though. She was
No, what? No, I don't. Nope. Somebody's fantasy, yo.
Yeah, it's some weird niggas out there, bro. What do you want me to do?
Somebody was typing that shit, and it was like.
I'm surprised they ain't getting on Spider-Man faster, because that's a lot of money sitting right there.
You see that lady Dimitrescu? Like Dimitrescu,
Bro.
like, that mod?
Yo,
mods are going crazy, bro.
The question is, who hasn't seen her?
Those mods are wild, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might, low key, I might get Resident Evil on PC.
This nigga.
The Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 2 remake mods are so amazing, bro. Like, just regular shit, like just get cool jackets and shit. You don't have to have her like butt naked and shit, like the thick mods, but.
Halo button naked now on PC, right?
Yeah, that's I don't do that.
She got that bacon strip.
Aloy's off limits, bro.
She got that bacon strip too. She was running around the fucking forest with a bacon strip.
Aloy's off limits, bro. Stop it, Josh.
Yo, as long as they didn't do the kid version, you know.
Whoa.
I've been taking. I'm gonna give it to you, Ken. Going with we basically exhausted this particular subject here, but gonna close us all out. We're gonna close shop, closing the doors, yo. We're gonna flip the sign. We are closed. Take it away, my boy.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and do the closing here, just to kind of do some housekeeping. Just make sure you guys follow us on social media, man. PlayStation Culture. It's just Twitter. The Twitter handle is Culture of PlayStation. You know, we're pretty active up there. You just follow us and just see what we're all about there. Yep.
They can't see you, nigga.
Obviously, you know, just make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Hit that notification so you can see when we go live and all that.
Yep.
Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, we go live every week at 7:00 on Sunday, Eastern time. I did want to, because we were doing this this giveaway for Ratchet and Clank for some of our, you know, peeps in the Discord. I actually wanted to do this little shout out here really quick for the person who won. Congratulations to Afro, my man. He's been in the Discord, you know, just kind of killing it with everybody else.
Yo, he plotted that shit, yo. I'm gonna let you know, yo. That's He always be wiggling around trying to get these little giveaways, but you got it. You got it this time. Afro got a history. Just to let you know. He always trying to win a fucking. He got a history. Go on.
It is what it is, man. He won it fair and square.
Like my boy always told me, man, like a long time ago, man. If it's for free, it's for me.
That's how he black. Too. he black too. Right? That's how it is.
But yeah, congratulations, Afro, man. You know, for being active in the Discord, and everybody, man. You know, all of you guys. We appreciate you, man. No, I mean, Nelson's in there like all the time, man. We do appreciate it, bro.
Nelson,
you know, like
Nelson be making that not safe for work thread, yo, on point.
Yo, facts. Who else is in there, man? Damn. Fuck, I forgot who else was fucking in there. Magnificent Black is obviously in there. You know what I'm saying? He pops in every now and then. But he's pretty active.
Peeking.
Yeah, Umar. Umar OG, bro.
He really is.
Umar drops a lot of good gifts and shit.
Yeah. Umar's always in there, man. Dropping some funny stuff.
I be drowning in work every fucking day, yo. I'll be like, damn, I have to catch up on this shit at 9 o'clock. So I work at 10 or 11, really. and then I get off of work at like 9, so I'm like, I have to catch up on mad shit. But I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna give everybody a shout out that's in the chat. There was 10 people watching. I don't know, probably 8 to 10 people. So
Good.
shout out to Umar, Jemiah.
I wasn't watching this time.
Fatal was in here. Fatal Conrad. Magnificent. Shout out to you, yo. Here's to you. Do 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 do.
That nigga Retro Ken. Who that nigga? Like,
Retro
shout out to
Ken,
that
yo.
nigga.
Shout out to Retro. He is retro. He's not even retro, yo. That nigga born in 1987, yo. That nigga young as shit. Get
Whoa,
outta here.
you was born in 87? Stop it.
What you think that 87 was?
Nah, but he was saying like, I'm all old and shit, yo. Y'all niggas is young, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you born in 87, bro? Stop. Like,
Edward,
nigga.
too. Shout out to Edward, yo. Edward.
Yo, y'all make me feel better. I like that.
Nigga, you ain't
Yeah,
got
no,
nothing-
like the chat was pretty lit, yo, man. You guys were awesome, man.
Fatal
Facts.
Sherrard. You call him Fatal Conrad for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yo, what's
my
good,
bad.
Fatal, man? You've been quiet, yo.
Yo, check out Crumbside Wrestling, man. That shit's mad funny. My boy Fatal,
Yo,
man.
you're gonna have to do Jemiah and Josh. yo.
I was watching Fatal earlier. He's playing Capcom Arcade Cabinet.
Hell yeah.
Yo,
I mean, it'd be
my
cool
bad
if
for the
you
mess,
jumped
man.
in
Yo,
every now and
Fatal,
then,
yo,
bro.
you gotta build. You gotta you gotta have me and Jemiah fight, yo. Make me give him a suplex.
Nah.
No,
It's not scripted, son. That's just all it's the computer.
I said
fights
that's
by
why I
itself.
said make me.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to because you know about the body, you nigga. You know what I mean?
Well, Ultimate Warrior on his ass.
I owe Josh a suplex, bro. Like when I see him in real life, if I ever see him, I'm just gonna suplex his ass. No hard feelings.
Yo,
we already agreed
you
to
don't
it.
understand.
He said he understands that
No,
he
I never,
deserves
no, I
this.
never said that shit, yo. Catch me if you can,
You
yo.
deserve this,
All
bro.
this Jerry Curl juice, yo. Catch me if you fucking can, yo. A fucking otter, yo. Anyway, yo, have a great night, everyone. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Peace out. Normally, by the way, the show is usually about like an hour and a half, but you know we have a lot of different takes, so we have to give it that extra love and care and tenderness. You know what I mean? But have a great night, everybody.
Yo, peace out, guys.